Hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. We have a lot of crypto news to go over today. There's some excitement going on with the Clarity Act. We've got several different technical indicators being identified by various creators, and I'll be showcasing what they are saying, as well as I'll be analyzing XRP's price chart at the end of the video. And let's go ahead and get into the first bit, the meat of this, which is about the Clarity Act. A new Clarity Act draft has been released. So what this does is it merges both Senate versions and adds an ethics provision for the first time. A motion could come within 48 hours, hopefully, followed by a possible floor vote during the week of August 3rd. So trying to get things set up before a possible recess. Hopeful, but we'll have to wait and see. This is a bit rushed here. We are at the end of July right now, so there's not much time left before that happens with August 3rd. But it does say the week of August 3rd, so keep that in mind. It's also looking like Trump may end up having everyone stay, as he's really trying to push for some of these other laws. So possibly we'll see some activity still rolling over with this, but not necessarily that they're both joined at the hip there. Now moving on, AI agents have now executed over 1.4 million transactions on the XRP ledger. And this is incredible because just recently I was reporting on the fact that we passed 1 million transactions. So already, because of AI agents, now at 1.4 million transactions. That's incredible. This is the first hard evidence that non-human actors are selecting the rail for settlement, completely independent of sentiment, ETF flows, or price action. Humans argue about narratives, machines simply optimize. That difference is bigger than most people realize. And breaking, North Carolina just opened the door for billions in pension money to enter XRP. If pensions start buying, XRP won't stay under $10 for long. That'd be awesome if that's actually going to end up happening there. And from Flare, which Flare and XRP, they're pretty close. They've been associated for quite a while now. The reason most XRP stays idle is not lack of interest. It's steps, something's coming. Well, the question is, what's coming? We have a little bit more information on this from BSCN. Flare Networks' major XRP Fi expansion coming. Flare Networks is kicking off a 6-month integration phase aimed at expanding the XRP Fi ecosystem, CEO Hugo Felion said. The first upgrades are expected within 2 weeks and will make Flare a fully programmable layer for the XRP ledger. The move is reportedly designed to unlock new DeFi use cases for XRP, which has largely remained limited to payments. And in other news, SpaceX, NVIDIA, as well as Tesla, they are now tokenized on the XRP ledger. So seeing 3 very big named companies, those stocks being able to be associated over on the crypto side. The blockchain, XRP ledger, let's go. And community alert, holding XRP or RLUSD on Bitmart. Withdraw your funds before the exchange shuts down on January 31st, 2027. So a little PSA there if you guys are using Bitmart. And from Chart Nerd, probably nothing. Ripple Prime is listed as a FICC GSD netting member under broker code 9388. Another sign of institutional infrastructure quietly deepening behind the scenes. This was dated on March 11th last year and effective with trade date Friday, March 14th, 2025, and firm name Hidden Road Partners. Everyone thinks card payments are instant. They're not. When you swipe, the card network authorizes in about 2 seconds. That's just a promise. The actual money does not settle for 1 to 3 days. The XRP ledger does not split the two. Approval and final settlement happen together in 3 to 5 seconds, irreversibly. Authorization is a promise. Settlement is the money. And XRPL does the part that matters. And there is currently a race going on with the XRP Ledger developers. This is to fix the version 3.2 bugs. The XRP Ledger community is working through multiple bug reports ahead of the planned July 29th Fix Cleanup 3.2.0 amendment. Developers say the issue ranged from performance regressions to synchronization problems after upgrading to XRP as version 3.2. Some node operators report falling behind the mainnet consensus, while reverting to version 3.1.3 appears to restore normal performance. Additional reports claim some Windows 10 nodes never progress beyond the connected state despite stable peer connections. And that's according to CoinGate. And one of the biggest factors to move the price is something called the velocity of money. It's how much and how fast that money hits the asset. So for those of you guys, basically, you've been watching XRP's price, you're not seeing it move very much. Here's an example. For instance, if $1 million flows into it over the course of a month, meaning a long period of time, that is much different if it flows into it over 5 seconds, right? So $1 million over the course of a month, it sounds nice. It's $1 million, but it's spread out all across the board. You're not going to see these big spikes. If you had $1 million in a single candle, you're more likely to see the price swing. And from Emily, another XRP glitch got caught on Upbit. XRP rose to over $2,250. What is going on here, guys? This is not the first time that this has happened, and we've been seeing it now in the last week or so being reported numerous times. I think this might be the third time that I've seen this being mentioned. XRP's deeper value may lie in what it makes possible for everything else. When value can move between ledgers and currencies with far less trapped capital, every other asset becomes slightly more usable, more liquid, and more globally relevant. In that sense, XRP is not competing with other assets so much as increasing the capital efficiency of the entire stack that sits on top of it. That is a very different role from simply being another investment. And XRP is approaching a critical moment. If the RSI confirms multi-year breakout and price confirms falling wedge breakout, it'll strengthen long-term bullish case. So this is one example. I have one other example of an influencer who is sharing their thoughts on the price movement, and this comes from JD. The next weekly close is important. Last cycle made us rich. Next one will make our family rich. And then they're asking you to retweet. Pink box is still in play until Bitcoin creates its confirmed HH with the HL. The rect who became poor last cycle will deny it. Well, I mean, it looks like it's on the verge of some kind of a major move. I really hope it's on the upside. There is some chances that it might continue to just drop down, and we'll cover that more in just a little bit. Here's another analysis from Bird. One giant wedge, one green candle, one giant leap for XRP and mankind loading. So again, the signs looking pretty good, though we might actually see a nice explosive move up, essentially breaking out of this pattern. There is a bit of a concern here, though, and I will talk about that again in just a minute or so. So, moving on. XRPL now holds $894.8 million of RLUSD supply versus $639.3 million on Ethereum. Active addresses up 59.58% this month. 60,807 holders and counting. RLUSD's growth story is quietly becoming an XRPL story. Wall Street giants, including BlackRock, backs Clarity Act with $30 trillion muscle. A coalition of financial giants managing more than $30 trillion in assets has endorsed the Digital Asset Market Clarity Act. BlackRock, Goldman Sachs, Fidelity, Charles Schwab, and Grayscale are among the firms backing the bill. The legislation would establish clear oversight roles for the SEC and CFTC while introducing anti-money laundering requirements. Supporters are urging the Senate to keep the bill moving before Congress begins its August recess. And Ripple, they actually signed over 1,700 NDAs between 2013 and 2020. So we still have to go back in time 6 years ago to be able to identify that. That came out of filings, not from a rumor account. Banks, payment providers, tech firms, Fortune 500 companies, universities. The things keeping those deals under wraps is ending, and the pieces for mass adoption are laid out. And that's according to Jake Claver, by the way. XRP Ledger officially goes live for AI agent payments, targeting $197 billion market by 2034. So we're talking just 8 years from now. AI agents can now pay with XRP and RLUSD on the XRP ledger through X402 integration. Humans are not enough. B needs billions and trillions coming to XRP ledger. Okay, now let's go ahead and analyze what's going on with the price market. So I'll keep this pretty short for you guys, but this is important. So if we zoom out just a little bit here, yes, we're down 2% on the day, but we are down approximately 22% when we broke below the Fibonacci zone. So that was back on May 17th. The price was at $1.40. It's dropped down pretty considerably, but if you look here, I did add this line. I didn't have this before. At about $1.13, that is the median line for this Fibonacci zone. So as you can very clearly see, we are technically right now closer to heading down here towards the next major lower level Fibonacci zone. Unfortunately, that's below $1. It's around 86 cents. Of course, though, you do need to keep an eye on $1. We'll see if it actually bounces off of that, which there's a really good chance that it will. But if it drops below that, then you're definitely going to want to keep an eye on this. This is a major point, 86 cents. And if it can manage to climb back up, let's see if it can get above $1.13 and then try to make itself a little bit higher here at $1.18. And then realistically, we can probably start to make a rally going back up here to around that $1.40 range. Okay, so that's what I got for you guys in today's video. Thank you so much for tuning in. And if you guys are new, don't forget to hit subscribe. Thank you to all my supporters. God bless. We'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.